Hello, boys and girls. Strange place to do this Ask Guillem this week, but they're doing works inside the flat and it's very noisy. So I thought I'll do it in this balcony and show you my neighbors. Dinesh Rihal, a regular here, says, honestly, answer what you would do in place of Messi, leave or stay at Barcelona. There's more football TVG saying, is it still likely Messi will leave in the summer? And if so, is it more likely to Manchester City? There is Peace Football. If Messi leaves Barcelona, how long will be the build-up era last, and will the new president survive the pressure? But if I actually look at the Instagram ones, you actually will find that the interest of the result of the game against PSG will dictate what happens next. So, for instance, Nicole is asking, will the result of the PSG game affect Messi's future? Who is going to be next Barcelona's manager? Beside Koeman. What's your prediction for Barcelona PSG? That's from Tarrauleri. The previous one was from Sheldon Shatman. And Matty Hughes 5. What's been the target for Koeman to achieve this season? Two more really from the PSG game. J. Fernan 91. Mbappe performances in big games. And your Wells at 24. Do you think Keane will have a big attacking role against Barcelona in Neymar's absence? Well, I'll answer all that in one go. I've written a long piece for the BBC about the future of Messi, or what we know of it, and basically the conclusion is there's in the air the feeling that as now Bartomeu is gone, the move abroad will always be complicated 18 months before a World Cup, and who's to say that it's going to be that the grass is green on the other side. Plus, Laporta thinks that if he wins the elections, he will convince Messi to stay. In the air, there is this feeling that perhaps he's closer to stay now than to leaving. That's in the air, because he hasn't decided. And he got really upset when he heard the likes of Paredes, but especially Di Maria, talk about, there are possibilities, that's what Di Maria said, there are possibilities of Messi going to PSG, and we will see, etc. And of course, everybody will love to have Messi at PSG, which Koeman didn't like very much, but that's rich because, of course, from Barcelona and from the Barcelona media in the past, there's been a lot of talk of Neymar returning to Barcelona, for instance, and that everybody talked about. Not Koeman, but you've heard it from players, you've heard it from directors, and you heard it in the media. Anyway. As I say, there is the impression that he could be closer to staying, but based on nothing, because what he's let everybody very clear is that he will not decide anything until he talks to the new chairman. And Messi himself said, I will decide at the end of the season. Why he says that? Because actually probably won't be the end of the season, it'll be a couple of months before when you have to decide, because the contract is complicated. So there have to be a lot of work being put on it, and those decisions are not taken lightly. But he's saying that because he knows everything can change in football in 1 week, in a day. So the fact that Bartomeu is not there certainly benefits his decision in terms of, for those that think that he will stay, because Messi was liked by the chairman, didn't trust him. And for 6 months told him that he wanted to leave, as I explained in the BBC article, and that those calls were ignored. He was told, you can decide your future. Eventually, when he got to it, it wasn't the case. But Laporta feels that he can convince him. How? Making the team more competitive. How would he do that? Basically by getting rid of the French contingent. He would sell, I feel, if the market allowed it, and that's a big if. Dembélé, Griezmann, Lenglet, and Titi. The idea is to sell them for about 200 million euros and bring players who, well, Eric Garcia will come in. Haaland would be another one they try to convince. David Alaba if he hasn't gone to Madrid by then or to another club. It is also a possibility. The elections is on the 7th of March. You get that kind of team together and you say to Messi, you will not lose a penny, you will still be paid what you deserve, even though you may be paid throughout the years. So give him what we call a vitalicio contract, a contract forever, a lifetime contract, which he'll have to, I'm sure, become some kind of ambassador. Perhaps at some point he will allow to go to the States. I explain in the BBC blog that his close relationship with Cesc and the close relationship with both wives of both of them mean that they've fantasized with the idea of going to the States to be honest together. So we'll see if that happens, but in any case, those things have to be taken into account, and also results like tonight's game against PSG, and we'll preview it in a little bit. But of course, if they get knocked out and they get third or second in the league, does he think that the team is competitive enough? Does he think that he needs to move on to try to win another Champions League? It will vary completely if they qualify to the next round, they leave that behind, and they even get to the semi-finals, so get close, and then all of a sudden you think, all right, Araujo, Pedri, Ricky Puig, Dest, De Jong, Trincao, those are players that are young and could actually be the base of the future of Barcelona, which is what the likes of Ramon Planes, director of football, has always believed in, that there is a base there, it just needs better players. That's because there are so many question marks, you cannot say clearly, despite the fact that in the end there is the feeling that perhaps he's closer to staying, there's actually no decision being made yet. And how about the games tonight? Well, PSG come with the absence, of course, of Di Maria and Neymar. So we will see what kind of formation there will be in the middle. I think Berratti will definitely play, Guillem will definitely play, Leandro Paredes will definitely play in the middle. And then it looks like Mbappe has been used on the left-hand side. Icardi will be the 9. And then we will see if Moise Kean or Sarabia will be played on the right-hand side. I think it could be Sarabia just because he tracks back, works hard defensively, and that's going to be very important. For both teams, it's important that they are organized when they lose the ball. They are in a place to recover it early, or at least to protect themselves. Both of them have got the weaknesses at the back. Barcelona gets attacked quite easily. If PSG keep the ball and manage to push Barcelona in the last third, that would be a worse Barcelona. Barcelona needs to recover the ball in higher places, if you like, higher up the pitch. And for PSG, the problem at the moment is that they're becoming more compact than they were. Physically, they're getting a little bit stronger, but there's still lots to learn for this team. It's fascinating to see, or what I see when I watch them. And again, I've written about it, but in the Spanish sport newspaper, that still a team that doesn't really know what they want to do. And of course, Pochettino hasn't had a lot of time to make an impact. What you can see of Pochettino in the team is that they recover the ball earlier than they did before. They recover the ball higher at the pitch than they did before, but still not enough to say this is a Pochettino side. They have quality. They need to understand the game better. That includes Mbappe. Mbappe, who wants the ball and wants to do things with it constantly, and it just feels sometimes that he's a player of moves instead of being a player of 90 minutes. He needs to decide if he wants to be a Neymar, a creator and a finisher as well, or to be a Cristiano Ronaldo, if you like, his hero. I think we're going to see more and more Mbappe being asked to do less things and to focus on the scoring, because he already is, of course, the best goal scorer of PSG. But in the knockout stages of the Champions League, I think he hasn't scored a goal in 6 games or something like that. So he's still not making the impact that he should do, the impact that he did have with France, for instance. What Pochettino is trying to do is to add more competitiveness to the side, more winning mentality. This is a team with a lot of quality, or plenty of quality, but need that cohesion and to be stronger mentally as well. So it's a little bit too early for Pochettino. We will see what happens today against the best Messi, the best Barcelona. The connection Pedri-Messi is fantastic. Messi has become, it's the best Messi of the season, super efficient, from having an 8% percentage of shots on goal converted into goals to a 40% since the turn of the year. And of course, the floating role of Griezmann on the left-hand side, but coming into the centre as well, helps. Dembélé adding depth too also helps. So all those things with the young becoming more and more the young of Holland, getting into the box sometimes, while he doesn't play as a centre-back, as he did at the weekend, for instance, against Alaves. But the team seems to be stronger. Araujo is holding his own there. And let's see if Piqué is ready for the game. He thinks he is. It's Coleman's decision to see if he plays him or not. So this is an urgent Ask Guillem this week. There will be more next week, but there is plenty of content, as I said to you, with Nagelsmann. There'll be clips on Twitter, but the full conversation is on the podcast and also on YouTube. And there's more coming that has been prepared and will be put out there as soon as I can. A little bit of a clue. I've interviewed a Barcelona player, an 18-year-old Barcelona player. Yes, it's Pedri, and that will come out very soon. Have a good week. I'll be after Barcelona. I'll be going to Sevilla, to the Sevilla Dolmen, and we can talk about all that and next week's Champions League as well in the next season.